Welcome to In Bloom with Jack and Mel. I'm Jack,
I'm Mel.
and today we are going to be talking about college and relationships. College is like a relationship pressure cooker.
Yeah, college destroys a lot of relationships.
A lot of relationships, and a lot of relationships also start in college. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about long distance relationships, meeting at parties,
Meeting at frat parties.
dorms, yeah, dating culture in college.
Yeah, very different.
So we are currently in a different setup.
We're in my room with all of my precious little jelly cats. I am a big fan. Have a big collection. This ain't all of them, but these are my favorites.
You lost one over there.
I know, it's okay.
Okay.
It's behind my head anyway.
So yeah, we're just trying to figure out like what this is gonna be and where we're comfortable doing it. And we did the first episode at my house, and it was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
But yeah, we're trying holding the mics. We have stands. We have different cameras. So like everything is new today.
Yep.
We're,
Episode 2,
yeah,
everything different.
we're also not playing a game. Last time we played a game, we're thinking we'll do that like once a month. So one of 4 episodes will be something like that, like a Would You Rather or
A more fun, light pressure episode.
yeah, something fun. And then the other 3 will be like our traditional episodes. And our goal is probably 1 guest a month. That would be
Yeah.
cool too.
So then we would have 2 episodes us,
Yep.
1 game, which is still just us, and then a guest.
Right. One thing that are we ready to announce the
Yeah.
Okay,
Go for
so I actually don't know if it's gonna be Saturday or Sunday. Because
Okay.
if it's Sunday, that would mean we post twice in a row.
Yeah, that's true.
We are gonna start either Saturday solos or Sunday solos. And every other week, every week we're gonna post a Saturday or Sunday solo. And it's going to be just one of us. And we're gonna alternate each week. So like this first one, that you just saw was me, and then Amelia will be this upcoming Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah, whatever day. Probably Saturday. Saturday would make more sense.
Saturday would make more sense. But yeah, none of our episodes are like recorded on the day they're published. So yeah, we're kind of like talking, we're announcing something that you know already, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into it. You ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So college relationships. We'll start with our story.
Yes.
We went into college in a relationship
At the same college.
at the same college.
Living in the same dorm.
Yes, 1 floor apart. Like you could hear me stomp if I stomped.
Yes.
So
Which I did. I would hear you and your
Yeah.
roommates
Playing
playing
basketball.
Yeah.
So our story is a little bit different because the things we're talking about, like long distance, doesn't apply to us, but it might in the future.
Right.
Meeting in college doesn't apply to us. So we're going to talk about those things, but mostly we can speak on like managing a relationship well in college
And
that
like
already is happening.
switching from high school to college. Like I
Right.
feel like
The
that's
transition.
a big thing that we experienced. I feel like a lot of people don't, but for the group of people that do, we have some insight on that.
Right. So let's just start with like the college relationship culture or landscape.
Yes.
So it's your first time out of the house. You have like freedom, like a change in your life. So a lot of stress comes with that. So what was like the initial shock for you about getting to college and like our relationship progressing?
I feel like I was kind of prepared for like our relationship, what was happening. For the like in the beginning few weeks, I was more just like, holy shit, I'm on my own. Like I have to like figure out what I'm eating every day. I have to do my own laundry. Like when it works in my schedule, I only have 2 hours to do it because they need to be used. Like
Right.
it's just a lot more of like managing yourself, obviously, but like just the small things I didn't think of before. And then once we transitioned into like college and once we got a little bit more settled, I feel like we had to focus more on like our relationship, and like so many new things were happening. You were spending time with your guy roommates. I was spending time with some of my friends. I was in the middle of joining a sorority, which obviously takes up a lot of time. So we had to we couldn't just hang out every night after school because we had no homework to do. Like we had our own separate lives at that point.
Right. So like the expectation was what going in?
We were just gonna spend every day together. Like in
Right.
high school, you would come over after
Most
dinner
nights, yeah.
most nights, and we'd just hang out all night. But like,
But you had tennis, I had soccer, we had jobs.
right,
And when you're in high school, your job is like after class. So you go all day and then you work. So like if one of us worked, we weren't hanging out that night.
right,
So we expect that like when we go to college, we'll be able to just hang out all the time.
right,
Your class schedule when you first go to college like looks super appealing because you're used to every day, all day, 8:30 to 3:30, which is
Right.
like what our high school was. So
and
you're
for like us, we didn't have to do a lot in high school outside, like school wise. So like, we were like, oh, this is it, and then we don't have to focus on school the rest of the day.
right. For a lot of people I know, like, there are like APs and CCP classes that like change that. But for a lot of people I know, once you left school, if you used school to your full advantage, there wasn't that much to do.
Right.
There wasn't that much homework. What you had to do, like, had to start and finish.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Like, when you're in high school, you have an assignment to do. You go home and you do it. In college, you study, and there's no end to that.
No, you have, or even
You have to decide
even
when you're
homework.
done.
Like you have to like. It's not a homework that just takes 20 minutes and you're done with it. Like
Right,
you have
it's like
to
an
like
essay.
space it out.
Or, yeah. And you could spend as much time. I mean, you could spend 24 hours straight doing homework, and, like, it might not be overkill. Like, it just depends.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I expected that we would see each other more.
Mm-hmm.
I expected it to be harder to make friends, actually. We're both very outgoing,
Yes.
I think. But I still thought we'd kind of be like each other's.
Right.
But really, we made friends very quickly. And
Yeah.
I didn't have friends in high school that I would spend a lot of time with
Right.
outside of school
You
and
had
sports.
people in school. Like you were very social, outgoing, but
Right.
like you didn't have that core group that you were with all the time outside.
Right. Like when we were out of school, I was at home
Yeah.
or with you. So we didn't really, I mean, I was living with 3 people who ended up being like very close friends. I made more later on.
Right.
You joined a sorority.
I made
You lived with girls.
instant friends. Yeah.
Right. So we didn't know how to deal with that yet
Right.
because you also didn't have.
No.
I mean, you had a few,
but
but-
it wasn't like people I was hanging out with every single day.
Right. And then we get to the point where like our friends would make plans, and especially the first couple months of college, you felt like there was a very strong FOMO.
Yes. And it was like, oh, if I don't hang out with them every time they're going to ask, they're going to stop including
Right.
me.
I'm not a
Like,
friend anymore.
Right.
And, in college, a lot of people are single.
A lot.
A lot of people are in relationships, but a lot of people are single, and those people just want to have fun and hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And you feel like if you're the taken friend, the friend in a relationship, you're out.
Right.
So that's like a big stressor, because when I first moved in to my dorm, there were 4 of us, including me. 2 of us were taken, but his girlfriend went to BG,
You were the only one
an
with
hour
a
away.
girlfriend.
I was the only with a girlfriend on campus, and the other 2 were single.
Mhm.
So it ended up being all of us hanging out all the time, and I kind of had to try to figure out how to almost like fit you into my schedule.
And it was harder for you, especially because it was your room. Like it wasn't like
Right.
you were going out somewhere else to hang with them. It was like
I couldn't avoid
you
it.
couldn't say no. Like
If it was dinner time, they would say, "Where are we going to eat, fellas?" And I would go with them. And yeah, so it wasn't healthy at the start.
no.
Like trying to figure out how to figure things out with you, and yeah, that was very complicated.
It was.
So I guess my next question, like, did the relationship ever feel like a distraction from like the college lifestyle?
No. I feel like we did a really good job at like if we were especially second semester, if we were going to the library, we went to the library together. First semester you didn't go to the library as much. So it was like if you're studying in your room, I'll go to the library and study.
Right.
So I feel like we kind of could like manage spending alone time because I would just study whenever you like were with your friends or anything, or like, but I don't think anything was like a distract. Like, I just think you were helpful, or we were just doing our own things, which was still like a good thing for us in college.
But did like having a boyfriend feel like it prevented you from doing things you wanted?
No.
Like, let's say like all your friends were going out. Did a part of you feel like it was wrong to go out? Because like I didn't have a problem with it. Like I was very clear
Right.
about that. Because we trust each other a lot. But like, did part of you feel like you couldn't do what your friends were doing?
I would going out, like hanging out with my friends, you were always like, go do what you want. Like, you always have things to do. So like, if I don't feel bad leaving you in a sense, even though I'm not leaving you, because like we both are just gonna have separate things to do. But like going to a party, I trusted myself because I don't drink, and I trust
Right.
you trust me. Even if I did drink, I would trust myself. I know I am not gonna do anything. Like, would never
Right. But alcohol
right.
plays a big role in
Right.
a lot of
And I feel like you trust
things
me
that go
more
down in
knowing I'm not
college.
drinking. Like,
Yes,
just because I
for
have
sure.
full. So I don't think it was ever like I never really thought like, oh, what are you gonna think of this? Like, if I do this or this, because you had made what you are okay with like clear. So I wasn't like overthinking it.
Yeah, and then like I guess I could answer, but I didn't. I think I went to 3 parties and not
Yeah.
without you. I don't
Right.
think I ever went without you
I don't think so.
because I would choose not to if I didn't have to. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know if that was like I know that you didn't. Let's get into like the college experience.
Yes.
That
Well, first,
phrase.
did it ever make you uncomfortable, like with me going to parties or like me hanging out with like friends who you knew like didn't have a boyfriend or like didn't really care about like, or who wanted the college experience? Like, were you ever like, oh, like
Not
what's Amelia gonna do?
Not really. I mean, there were times that like I fully knew you were going to be in situations like everyone is where you like get hit on.
Right.
And I guess I wasn't worried about what you would do because I know you would
Yeah.
like reject them. But I guess I was potentially worried about like if it was really awkward or like uncomfortable what you might say or do. Cuz like
Because I'm not good at uncomfortable
right,
weird
you're
situations.
like shyer, especially
Yeah.
when you're not with me. You know, and I didn't know like I didn't know what it'd be like.
Right.
And then obviously that was never really a problem.
Yeah.
When we first got to school, like your second like social,
Mm-hmm.
do you remember who approached you?
My ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
But just to preface, I wouldn't
Yeah.
really call him my boyfriend. We dated for 2 weeks, and I was a freshman.
okay, yes, neither
So,
of us
like,
when either of us say X on this show, like the audience can just like giggle
yes,
because
it's
we
not.
we mean like a person of the opposite gender who we know.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, like things like that made me like skeptical.
Right.
You know what people always say like, oh, it's not because I don't trust you, it's because I don't trust other men. Like that's not my problem. I think that's stupid. Like I would never want you out alone, and you never were. You were with like people, and your sorority sisters I knew and trusted. One of them in particular I knew would like kill somebody if
Shout
they
out
like
Allison.
right. So like because of people like that, I knew you were okay.
Yeah.
Even if like there was a situation you couldn't control, like people would be there to protect you.
Right.
So that wasn't something that really worried me. But let's talk college experience. Because when you have a boyfriend and you're going into, or you have a significant other and you're going into college, what do people always ask?
Don't you want the college experience? Don't you want to be single in college?
Right. And a lot of people, even college students, say how fun it is to be single in college.
Which I could not see a world where like me being single changes any part of my college experience.
But you know exactly what that means.
They just mean they want to go.
So when people say they want the college experience, they just mean like they want to flirt and like hook up with
Party.
people and party. Right. Now, I see how that could be fun. Like the flirting and the like quick situationship stuff. Like that's fun. There's a reason people do it. It's lighthearted, it's fun. You
No
kind of get your heart
commitment.
broken a lot.
Yeah.
You get like too connected, but like yeah, that is fun. Like I don't
Right.
not going to shame people for that. What I will like condemn is the like encouragement to end your healthy relationship.
Right.
So you can, if you're in like a situationship and you're about to go to college, get out of that.
Or if you're in a toxic relationship,
Right.
that can be your excuse to get out.
Of
like
course.
It's not
But if you're in something that you know isn't going the distance
right.
and it's going to hold you back, sure. But like with our relationship,
If you see yourself marrying the person, why would you want to?
right. Why would you risk that?
Right.
And like people had told us like, don't you want to like break up and then you could just like get back together?
No.
Like
That was
no.
never like something we like.
People
said,
literally
though.
said that, and that's like didn't even make any sense. But I do kind of get the premise. It's not as
If you're not in a
immoral
healthy
as
relationship
people think.
going into it,
Right.
it
Like-
would make sense. Like
Yes.
it's something to do in college.
Right. So, yeah, people say that a lot, and it was annoying because like that wasn't something we were thinking about.
Right.
And then it kind of made me question like, is that what Amelia wants?
No.
I'm not asking you. I know the answer. But like that was something I thought about. I'm like, am I preventing her from having the college experience? Or like, does she want to have fun and party and flirt in college? And even though she does want to be with me, does she feel like held back? And like maybe you thought the same about me. You wondered if like you were holding me back.
Yeah, I don't think I ever really thought that about like a different partner, but
Mhm.
like with friends, I felt bad. Like I felt like I was going to take time from you making friends or like doing the stuff you're passionate about, like photography or something.
Okay.
So I didn't think about it like romantically though.
Okay. All right. So let's talk jealousy. So we talked a bit about like all the commitments and the friends and the parties. How did you deal with, for the first time in our relationship, feeling like, let me think of how, so there was like a lot of things to do in college, a lot of people to hang out with. Did you ever feel jealous, or how would you deal with it if you felt jealous, like when I was with other people, like men,
Right.
but just
But-
like, I'll put it on me first. Like when I would see you having a bunch of fun with your friends, people like often like wonder to themselves, like, do they have that much fun with me?
Yes.
Or like, how come I never see that side of them?
Yeah.
So did you experience that?
Yes, I would say when you would hang out with like your friends or like you'd go to dinner with your friends, I'd be like, oh, like he has more fun when he's with them. And especially like I would go with you guys a few times and like especially when you're with Dylan, you are like 10 times funnier than you are around me just because you guys have the same sense of humor. So I'm like, he's laughing, he's smiling more than he's with me because you and Dylan together are like two of the funniest people. So like obviously you're going to act that way. But like I wouldn't say I handled it the best way. I would sometimes get angry, like you would be out doing whatever, going to Walmart with your roommates,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, why don't I have people to go run errands with? Which I
Okay.
did find, but I was just more angry like at myself for not having that. But it takes time. Like I had friends like when I'm like went like in August, September, but I didn't like have like true friendships like I had at the end of the school year, which I did get. So it's like easier now. But in the beginning I was like, why is this so easy for you?
Right. I thought that, so right at the beginning, when they're the like, yeah, the anxiety that they're not gonna like me if
Mhm.
I'm spending all my time with my girlfriend. Like I had that,
Right.
and I definitely desperately wanted to be involved in everything, because what happens when you skip the roommate dinner and go to dinner with your girlfriend, or skip the movie night with your roommates and just hang out with your girlfriend, is you miss the jokes.
Right.
You miss the funny things that happen. You miss the nicknames. Like those
and
are
you
things
probably miss like they're not just sitting there and watching a movie, they're playing
Right.
games, they're
like when something me and my roommates did like early on for fun is we all watched Smile 2.
Yeah.
And all four of us were there. Had one of us not been there, there were a lot of things, actually, it's really funny, that happened that year in the room that you wouldn't get. Like Smile 2 kind of became like this big deal for us.
Especially in the beginning of the year when you're starting to make those inside jokes.
Right. So like there's a lot of parts of our friendship that you wouldn't know without having been there. And we
Right.
were all there. There were things I missed. Like one night I was hanging out with you and a bunch of my roommates watched a movie. And like there's a lot of stories from that about people. It was like our first impression of somebody who kind of became like a common joke for everybody. So like I missed that. And I don't think I ever like resented you for it, but there were times where I was like, dang, I should have been there.
Right. And you would have never known like you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna go to all these things because these are what we're gonna talk about the rest of the year.
Right.
So, like it's so hard to pick and choose.
And it wasn't just me. I mean, there were basketball games that we all went to
right.
that one of our roommates wouldn't go to, and you miss a lot. Like me and Dylan went to almost every basketball game. Next was probably Andrew.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's like a hierarchy of like who knows the most lore.
Right.
When we sit around in a room with all the roommates, half the time is spent talking about Toledo men's basketball. Right?
Yeah.
And like there's a hierarchy in my room of who can talk about that.
If you like, some don't even know the players' names.
Right.
Some know
And that
the
was
cities they were born in.
right,
Like,
exactly. Like the pride and joy of
Yeah.
Gehenna Lincoln, Ohio.
Javen?
Javen Simmons. The pride and joy of Easton, Pennsylvania,
Eva?
Evilise Cole. Exactly.
This is so
See?
bad.
So, like that was just something that, I happen to know a lot about, but like
Right.
there were things I missed.
Yeah.
But I don't think I resented you for it.
You were just upset with yourself that you weren't there.
Right, because I could have easily missed it for something else.
Right.
I went to every football game, including the weeknight games. My roommates didn't because they were cold or rainy. So like everybody's always doing different things, but at first that pressure is there to be at everything.
Right.
And there were definitely times that you felt like I wasn't giving you enough attention.
For sure. You were definitely doing other things. They were out with your friends, which obviously you should be. But especially at first when I didn't have as many friends and you were always with them, I was like, oh, this sucks. He wants to be with his other friends instead of me. But you wanted to be with me, but we had also already been together for 2 years and you had never met these people before. You needed to
Right.
give them some time to like get to know you to get to know them.
And then there was also a piece of it that like it felt like we had all this time together. We had so much time. Like, why rush it? Why miss out on stuff with our friends when like
Right.
we're always going to be there? But when you do that for so long, you end up never hanging out.
Yeah. It's always just
We thought
like,
it would just come up,
yeah.
and it didn't.
No, you have to schedule hanging out. We had
Exactly.
to start scheduling when we were going to see each other,
Right.
when we were going to get food together. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't do it because, you know, you say like, oh, we'll get lunch together when it comes up, but then you leave class and you get lunch with your friends from class.
Right.
You, you know, go to bed instead of watching a movie. You had to plan it. Like,
That was
strictly
another
plan it,
thing.
write it down on a calendar you can both
Right.
see.
I was going to bring up like the fact when we were in high school, we would watch movies, TV shows all the time together. We would like, because we just had nothing else to do.
Right.
But there's so like watching a movie, just the two of us, is like a waste of time almost because there's so many other things for us to do.
Right. We're going to really
So
sit
unless, like,
inside in college for 2
right.
hours.
We
But
had to make it
yes.
like almost like we called it like a date night, and like we'd get like
Right.
popcorn and like whatever, or like
Yes.
Texas Roadhouse rolls. Both. What would you say? What would you comment about our communication in the first semester versus the second semester, or even in high school versus college?
Okay. So in high school, communication was easy
Mm-hmm.
for a few reasons. One being there wasn't that much to talk about. Two, we saw each other every day at school.
We had classes together.
We had classes together and we sat next to each other. And three, we saw each other every night.
Right.
It was easy.
And we knew all the same people. I mean, we
Right.
know all the same people, but just from each other now. Like,
Right. College, first semester, we didn't feel the need to like text.
mm-mm.
Because like, oh, we'll just see each other. So we wouldn't really text. I mean, we would go 8 hours a day sometimes.
Yeah.
From like noon to 8 without.
I would run into you in my dorm. Like,
Right. And we hadn't texted in
Yeah.
hours.
but
And I
that
think it was
never, like-
because when we're at home, we're so separated. We like think about each other. We go to the phone and we text. When we were in college, we were in the same building.
right.
We're like, I don't need to text her. She's
Yeah.
right here. Like if we were both at my house and I was in my room and you were in the living room, I wouldn't text you. And that's what it felt like.
No, exactly. I also think we didn't have a trust issue at all. So it wasn't like, oh, I need to see what Jack's doing. Let me text him because what if he's with another girl? Like,
Right.
it was just I knew you were having fun. I knew you were okay. Like, everything was good.
Yeah.
Like, so I knew you were okay. So why would I be, if I was doing my own thing and I knew you were doing your own thing, why would I be texting you?
Right. So I think our communication into the second semester, we realized that we needed to prioritize it because first semester was really tough. I was a pre-med,
Mm-hmm.
so that was hard. It was our first semester of college, so that was hard. One thing I'll say to anyone who's listening that hasn't been to college, it's much harder than high school,
So
regardless
much
of your major.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It is so much harder than high school.
It takes so much effort.
It takes so much work. It takes so much time. Simply like the scheduling and making sure you know when everything is due
Mm-hmm.
is incredibly difficult. So where was I going with that? Oh, so in the second semester, we had timing figured out better. We knew, what college was like.
Right.
And second semester was also slower. You didn't have rush. You didn't have football.
We had basketball.
We had
But
basketball.
That was something we did together.
Right.
for the most
Basketball is
part.
like a shared interest. So it was much slower. So I think our communication in the second semester was intentionally better. We had to like work at it and make it better. And yeah, that was just like check-ins.
We also had an idea of like what each other needed more of by then because we had
Right.
gone through so much that we had like talked more about what like we wanted from each other. So then we both put in the effort the second semester because it was slower and we had more time to like talk and discuss that.
Right. And then of course we had a difference in personality on what we viewed as quality time.
Yes.
So what I viewed as quality time was watching a Thursday night football game in my room with my roommates. We're sitting next to each other, like cuddling, and everyone's just talking. That was quality time to me. Sleepovers were quality time to me. Getting lunch at the dining hall was quality time to me. What was the difference with you?
I needed more planned out. Like if we were getting lunch, even like especially the two of us, I was like, okay, I'm spending time with you. I'm talking about your day, my day. Like, but us sitting with all of your roommates, I feel like I couldn't really be myself. Like, I was still like social battery. I don't have a lot of, so I had to like pretend, like, not to be someone I'm not, but just like put in effort to like engage in like these conversations. And like, we were next to each other, but we weren't talking about each other. So,
Right. You saw attention as like the quality time.
Right.
And for me, if we're just with each other, I'm okay.
Right.
Like, we could sit next to each other all day in a group, and I would think like, oh, I spent a bunch of time with Amelia today. It was great. But you didn't.
Right.
You needed like one-on-one attentive time.
Yes.
And that was something that wasn't clear in the first semester.
Right. Because I didn't know that. Like,
right. You didn't know
I
what
had
was
to
wrong.
figure out what I needed from you, and then I had to express it to you. So it takes a while to like know what you need and how to get it.
Right. So in the second semester, you knew that. And I knew that.
Right.
So we started planning things out. We created a Google Calendar that we both have access to, that we both still have to this day.
Yes.
Um,
It's so helpful.
yes,
I
we use
fully
it every
recommend
day.
it to everyone.
We have a Google Calendar. We created it. It's shared between the two of us. We each have a color. I'm blue. She's pink. I know, gender roles, but it has all of our stuff on it. So I can go see at any time what Amelia is doing. And then that's how we plan things out and make sure that we can get to things. That's how we remind each other of things that we need each other at. If there's something that we, like a family dinner that we want the other
Right.
person at for support, we can like make that happen. So I
Or
really
if we're
recommend
just
Google
looking
Calendars.
at the calendar and we're like, oh, we're both free this night.
Let's not be free.
Yeah.
Right. Let's plan something. And then once it's in there, it doesn't move.
Right.
It's planned. I'm busy.
I feel like that also used to be a thing with us. Like, if we had something planned, like, it would say obviously what it is. So it's like, or like not even on the calendars before we had it, but like you would know, like, oh, Amelia wants me to come to family dinner tonight, and you're like, I can do it some other time. Like, I'll do this instead. Like, it wasn't like
It was bumpable.
Right.
Like we the first semester especially, we saw being together as the downtime,
right.
free time that was fillable.
Yes.
So because we had so much free time and there was also so much to do in college, we could fill that time.
Yes.
And so we would, and then we had nothing to do. We needed to set time that wasn't just every time we have downtime. We couldn't just change all of our downtime to together time, because you still need downtime for yourself.
Yes.
And you still need free time to fill with other stuff. So we had to like strike a medium where there was time that was dedicated to us that we could not move, and then time that we were not hanging out.
Right.
And that was equally as important, was to clarify when we're not spending time together.
Yeah, we definitely, I feel like we did a good job at like making sure, like maybe too good of a job is what I feel like we've been saying, at like being ourselves and like making sure we found our own identity instead of just becoming each other.
Right.
And we did get lucky enough to find like another couple that we've become really close with, but we also have friends separately that we really enjoy spending time with separately.
So how has a couple friend, another couple, like in college, also at the same college as us? I know my answer, but like, how has that helped us like prioritize time together?
I feel like when we're together, the four of us, I can be more of myself, and like if we're with another couple, we can do more coupley things, like
because they're doing them too.
Right. And so it's not like as awkward to be around them. And also the girl's one of my best friends. So like it's not really draining my social battery. I'm not trying to impress the other guy. Like,
right.
So like I just feel so natural being around the four of us that it's like, I just see it as us hanging out basically. Or like even like sometimes like over the summer when we hang out with them, obviously I'm spending more time with you than the girl. So like I'll focus, like when she comes, I'll focus on my time more with her. But sometimes like if I feel like I need more from you, like I'll focus on my time with you, because I'm with all four of us so often that I don't like need like, I don't know, just to spend time with you or her when I'm with all four of us.
Yeah. And then I also think that having a friend that is a couple has made it, like sometimes it feels uncomfortable, like if there's a group of guys or a group of girls, for like me to have my girlfriend with us or you to have your boyfriend, like, because I don't know, it sometimes feels like an intrusion.
Right.
But when you're with a couple, we're both couples.
Right.
And when we go to the library together, yeah, we're a group, but like we're both with our significant other.
Right.
It feels natural. It feels fun. You know, when we go to dinner, I can talk to you, or you can talk to Caitlin, and I can talk to Dylan. Like, finding another couple that's a good influence, like a healthy
Yes,
couple,
yes.
has been really helpful. I mean, the Google Calendar was actually from them.
Yeah.
Like, they had that first, and it worked for them because they knew each other's schedules so well, and they like scheduled time together so well that we kind of emulated it.
Right.
And yeah, the Google Calendar was like their idea, so they were kind of like an influence. I don't know if they know like that they like influenced our relationship, but they did, and I think it was really helpful.
Do you want me to do my expectations versus reality? Or do you want to wait?
Didn't we already do that?
No. I mean, like, we covered most of them.
Yeah,
but
let's
like,
go into that.
So some of the expectations that like from high school relationships that are going to college together. The first one is that college will be so fun. We'll just get to be together all the time. And we already mostly touched on this, but I think it's really important to know that you have to make your own routine and you have to make your own friend groups. We talked about that a lot. But like especially like sometimes I felt like we would be together till like late at night and then I'd go back to my room and I wouldn't have my nighttime routine, which I really need to like settle me down for the night. And I'd just be so tired after like being up super late with you. So I like wouldn't do that, which is still super important that you need to do.
Right. Like when I'd be up till midnight with my roommates, and then you would come over and we watch a movie till 2, nobody is showering, washing their face,
Right.
shaving,
Right.
and doing all that.
And since we're up till 2 watching a movie, I'm waking up later. I'm not fully getting ready for class or getting breakfast
Right.
before.
We get
so
up,
like,
as the semester went on, we got up later, got to class closer to right at the minute. I mean, we're not late ever. But what starts to happen is you get tired. And because you get tired, you sleep in as late as you can. And then you don't do all the healthy things. What really, really works for me in the morning, and it's something I did for a few months from like January to March, is I would get up really early, 5 a.m., go to the gym. For about 60 days straight, I did this. Go to the gym, 5 a.m., come back at like 6:30, make a really good breakfast, and study or do laundry. Go to class at 9:30.
right.
If we're staying up really late with friends and really late with each other, we're not doing that.
No.
There was no way to keep that up. So then I'm getting up at 8.
And
I'm
you
feeling
were
like,
still trying to do it for a while.
and
so
I
you were
was, and
getting
it was
drained.
really unhealthy. And yeah, it's when you like aren't getting enough sleep or you're getting up really late. Too much sleep isn't good either. You feel like crap. You don't do as well in school. So yeah, we needed to. That expectation, which could be a reality, was not a reality you would enjoy.
Right. Another one is that we mostly talked about this, but an expectation is that being together will make everything easier. And I think us being there to lean on each other did make a lot of things easier, but we also had to put in more effort than what we thought we were going to have to put in.
Yeah.
The last one is that I'll automatically have a built-in support system and that I will never feel lonely. Which obviously you're going to be there for me 100% of the time. You're
Right.
always going to help me, whatever. But I also can't only lean on you 100% of the time. I need to have other people in my support. I need to make sure that it's not just you that I'm leaning on because that's not fair to you.
Yeah, you definitely do feel lonely in college. There's a lot of times you feel lonely. When my first couple nights, I was homesick, 30 minutes from home. Had a lot of friends, but I felt lonely. And yeah, we had each other, but you still do feel lonely. And while, yes, we did have a support system in each other, your first semester of college, one person cannot be responsible for two people's emotions.
Right. Especially when we're both going through our first semester of college at the same
Right,
time.
which is a very hard time. So we were both trying to focus on each other's emotions, spent no energy on ours. When we both really needed to just put more time into ourselves
Yes.
while still being there for each other. But yeah, that's something we're going to talk about in an episode later, like how to deal with lopsided mental health needs.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that we experienced. Like some days I was good and you weren't, and some days it was the other way around. And as the person who's like struggling or needs more help, you feel bad
Yeah.
when you're struggling and your partner is well. You feel like you're bringing them down.
Yes. 100%.
You know, if I was having a great day and you were having a terrible day, you would just not tell me
Right.
because you didn't want to make my great day not great, and the other way around.
Right.
So that was something that we had to work on. We had to prioritize ourselves. We had to be okay asking for help if we needed it, because yes, we did need to give each other a little bit of space and deal with our
Right.
own problems. But
And we have to be able to deal with our problems on our own too. Even though we're going to have each other forever, we
Right.
still need to be independent people.
right, we still need to be
sometimes.
independent, but also the strive for independence couldn't be so much that we didn't go to each other ever, because then what's
Right.
the point?
Exactly.
You know, so the potential is like really strong, but you don't want to get to a point where you feel like, oh, I have a built-in therapist,
right.
because that's not fair for anybody.
No.
Get an actual therapist.
Which everyone should have anyway.
Everyone should have anyway, but yeah, don't view your partner as like your therapist, because everyone in college needs some form of talk therapy.
Yeah.
Whether they get it or not, like everybody needs it. But your partner can't be that, because that's not fair. They don't know what they're doing, first of all.
They're not a
They need it
licensed-
themselves.
yeah.
So yeah, that was something we struggled with, like expecting your partner to be able to fix all your problems,
Yes.
when sometimes just talking it out with your boyfriend is not going to solve the problem.
No. Shocker, your boyfriend doesn't solve all your problems. What?
Interesting. So yeah, that was something that we definitely experienced a lot, was the expectation that we're always going to have like support. We're not going to need, you know, help. When we need something, we're going to, you know, when we have a need, it's going to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes not the case. Because sometimes even if you were to tell me, you know, you needed support, sometimes I cannot give 100% that day.
Right.
Sometimes I'm drained too. You know, sometimes I would tell you I'm having a problem and you're worse than I am and I didn't even know. Not that it's a competition, but
And it's also unfair to be comparing. Like, if you have an issue and I have an issue and we're both
Right.
talking about our issues, and I'm like, oh, well, your issue's worse than mine, I shouldn't be complaining about this. That
Right.
isn't fair.
so let's talk about something uncomfortable. When to call it quits in a relationship.
Couldn't tell you.
Right. But we're going to have to try. So, yes, going to college in a relationship can be very helpful. It can avoid a lot of like the problems, but sometimes you do need to call it quits. Sometimes when you go to college, you grow a lot, and sometimes you outgrow somebody.
Yes.
College is like a relationship killer. Everybody knows that.
College is just where you find yourself.
Right,
You have
and
so
that's
much
what it
more
really is.
freedom. You can be whoever you want to be.
People always put
Especially
it on like
who you surround yourself with.
right. People always, when people say college is a relationship killer, they say that because of, for two reasons: long distance and competition. And it's long distance, yes, but competition's not really the reason. When you go to college and you see all your friends' relationships ending, it's probably not because everyone met somebody. It's probably because they grew. College grows you up quick, immediately.
Yes.
And when that happens, sometimes your partner will not grow as much as you do. And because of that, it just doesn't work.
Or sometimes you both grow, but you grow in different directions.
Right. So when do you think, even when it's not going great, when should you stick with it?
I think if you still have the same morals, beliefs, and like you're not going out, like if you're not thinking about cheating, or like if you still like see a future with them, you should at least put in more effort. If you're having, especially if you're having those like communications and like talking about how you're feeling and how they're feeling, keep putting in the effort and see, like, at least give it like after you first get like 6 more months to see if anything's going to change. And if things just continually keep happening and don't change, then maybe talk about it again and be like, if things aren't changing, like, what's the point of this? Like,
Okay, so what about going on a break?
no, I don't think breaks work. I don't see the point of them. Why? Like, what are you trying to get out of a break?
Right. We always see when breaks happen. And by breaks, we're meaning like temporary pauses in the relationship. What we always see is a difference in opinion on what breaks mean.
Yes. Breaks just lead to more fights.
Some people, and it seems like it always happens, someone in the relationship thinks that a break is an exclusive separation. And some people see it as we are fully broken up temporarily.
Right.
And when that happens, somebody talks to somebody sleeps with somebody, and then someone else is blindsided.
Yes.
And so, yes, we would, of course, in our non-expert opinion, never recommend going on a break.
Right.
If you
think it's time to go on a break, it's probably just time to break up, and you haven't.
And if you just
accepted that.
break up and it was meant to be, it's going to happen.
Correct.
If you break up, you might find your way back to each other. It happens all the time. I know so many couples that are married that broke up for an extended period of time, years.
You just have to, sometimes it's the right person, but you have to refine yourself and who
Right.
you want to be, and then
You cannot
become a person who you guys still want to
Yes,
be
and
with.
you cannot expect your ex-partner who you maybe end up getting, let's say you get back with an ex-partner, you cannot expect them to have been exclusively waiting for you.
Exactly.
That's not realistic. And you can't hold it against them. If you get back with a partner and find that they've had too many experiences that make you uncomfortable and you can't rectify that within yourself, then it probably isn't going to work.
Right. But you should know, if you're breaking up with someone, you shouldn't expect to get back together with them. If that's your way of dealing with the breakup, dealing with the hurt, that's okay for a little bit.
Right.
But you shouldn't 5 years later be like, oh, I'm just waiting for him to come back. I still think no. Like,
right. That, yeah. If you're breaking up and both, I see so many people break up and say like, oh, well, maybe we'll find our way back to each other. Like, you're there now.
right.
If you are breaking up, you're breaking up for a reason, or maybe you're not, and you should stick it out. So when should you definitely break up?
I mean, there's the clear answers, like he's
Abuse,
hitting you,
cheating, yes.
right, cheating. But I think if you guys have just been communicating for so long about the same issues, and one of the two partners isn't putting in effort and doesn't care to try, like, then it's just one person clearly doesn't care as much as the other, and it's a one-sided relationship.
Right. I would say if you get to college and mature or do what you think is maturing, and I see sometimes as well, people just think their partner's kind of a loser.
Yeah.
You realize they don't care about others, they don't care about themselves, they don't care about their career, and you really do.
Or
That's just a moral difference.
Especially if you went to or if you go to the same college, or even not, and you go to visit them, and like their college room's a mess because their mom isn't telling them to clean it anymore.
Right.
Like, there's just those differences that, like,
Sometimes you realize you're dating a child.
yeah,
Like Sabrina Carpenter song.
of course. You
Right.
mentioned that.
Of course I mentioned that. So, when that happens, yeah, it might be time to call it quits. If there are a lot of people break up in college and both parties are better off. In fact,
Yes.
that's usually how it works when
Yes.
they break up. I've seen cases where one party is really in trouble after. I've seen cases where they both are. Sometimes those are mistakes and sometimes it's just grieving differently. But Yeah, very rarely actually do I see couples break up when they first get to college where I'm like, oh no, they would have been incredible.
Right.
The
Yeah.
ones who you kind of feel like you know are endgame usually
Yeah. Stay endgame.
figure it out.
Yes. What would you say after a few, at least like a year-long relationship, and they break up, but then the next relationship they get into about like years later, and they're still comparing this new partner to their ex?
Very common in college. Especially if you broke up before you go to college and you kind of like, so you go to college single, every guy and girl is compared to your ex.
Right.
And it's not, I have two opinions. One, if your ex was just like an incredibly good person, treated you well, really kind to his parents, to strangers, that is an okay comparison to make. You are comparing your new potential love interests to good people.
Right.
And that's a fine grading scale. It's when you are comparing personality traits that's unfair. My ex was funnier. My ex had more friends. My ex, stuff like that. But when you say, oh, my ex was more mature, my ex was kinder, my ex treated me better, that's completely fine. That's you realizing I have done better than this. I can do better. And then you do it. I don't think that they say comparison is the thief of joy. And while it is, when it comes to partners, if you've already experienced better, and sometimes you view your ex with rose-colored glasses, like that's very common.
Right.
But if you know you're not doing that, and you're just comparing your ex to good people or your new love interest, here's where you know you are just never. You're just viewing your ex with rose-colored glasses. When you haven't found anybody in years that stacks up to your ex, either you lost the love of your life or you're being delusional. And it's probably the second. If you are like 3 years into college and every single dude has nothing on your ex and your ex has moved on, you're probably not looking close enough because...
And you're probably viewing your ex as a better person than that partner was.
Right. And at that point, it's unfair. But yeah, if we're like talking about a one-off incident where like your partner's or your new potential love interest is like a dud and your partner was awesome, I don't have a problem with that comparison. Yeah. So what would your last kind of parting piece of advice be? We'll start with, what would you say to a couple going into college right now as a couple? Like, what would your one piece of advice be?
Communicate. Understand, but you have to understand what you want before you try to communicate with the other person. Know yourself on the deeper level, so you're like, this is what I need right now. You can't expect your partner to know that. You can't be like, hey, I'm feeling anxious. They're gonna be like, okay, and what? Mm-hmm. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, that's not, they can't read your mind. No one reacts the same way.
And also, even if you tell them how you're feeling, they may not know how to respond still. If you tell me you're feeling anxious, there are like 3 things that you could want.
Right.
And sometimes it's okay to just be straightforward. It's like, you've probably seen this like on TikTok, where it's like, I told my boyfriend something bad happened. And he said like, are we in a solutions mood or are we emotional about it, or are we in the solution stage?
Right.
And sometimes, as straightforward and funny as it is, that is just like the question you got to get at.
Yes.
Like, are we trying to solve a problem here, or do you just want a hug?
Yeah.
And be honest about that. Because if you're not, and someone's trying to comfort you, and you're not being honest with them about what you need, that's just manipulative.
They're just putting in effort for they're just trying to do something for you that doesn't.
Right. And they probably think what they're doing is what you need.
Right.
Unless you tell them it's not.
Right.
So that's a good piece of advice. What about somebody, a girl, since that's what you know, going into college worried, like stressing about finding a husband. Because I didn't realize how difficult like adult dating is.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Yeah.
And like there is a lot of pressure to find a husband in college. Because like if you don't, then what? Like
I mean,
work, Tinder. So there's a lot of pressure to find a partner in college, like a spouse.
Right.
So what would you say to somebody who's like really stressed about that?
I would say just give it time. You're still young. You're still only in college. Although it will be harder, like depending on where you go to college, that's not all the men you're going to meet. Like if you go to college at Toledo, but then you go to Columbus for like to start your job, you're going to be going out in Columbus. You're going to be meeting so many more people. Like it could still happen. Like it obviously like people want it to happen sooner so then they can plan their life out more, but like it's not the end of the world.
Great.
What's your opinion?
I would say, yeah, I would agree with what you said, but also I know the reality of it. It is tough to find a partner out of college.
Right.
So, like, don't just like party up in college trying to find a partner. Like, go on dates. Like, do actual dating things.
Don't expect to meet your husband at a
bar.
frat party.
Right. Like,
And also,
dating in college isn't just doing the college things where there's
Right.
guys and girls. No one there is like in that mindset.
Yeah.
Dating in college is still like dating in high school. You meet somebody in class, you text, you agree to meet at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Here's also what I'd recommend. Date off campus.
For
Leave.
sure. Yeah.
If you go on a date at the library, you're seeing all the people you know. It's not even really a date. You're just studying together.
Right.
Studying together isn't a date. Can we stop with that? You're
Yeah, no.
studying together.
You're not.
You're study buddies.
Yeah.
You're friends. Don't study together. I have studied with girls. You've studied with
Yeah.
guys. It's not a date.
No.
And do not make it your first date. It doesn't work.
Oh, so romantic.
And here's what happens. 6 months later, you're still just studying together. I could drop 10 names right now. You never move on past that.
No.
We're leaving. We're going to a restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've said my piece.
The last thing I was going to say is just even if you're stressed about like trying to find your partner in college, don't settle. Don't be like, well, I like this guy, but like I can't see myself with them forever, but like I don't see why not either, so I'm just going to do it.
Yes, definitely don't settle. A lot of people settle.
Yes.
And that's why getting married in your 20s doesn't work. And I do want to talk about the whole like ring epidemic in college, but we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
But people be getting engaged.
People be getting engaged.
So we'll talk about that probably some other time. But we are at our time limit. So this has been great. Thank you for listening to episode number 2. Amelia will be publishing her first solo Saturday soon.
Yep.
So check that out. Give that love.
And go watch Jack's from last week if you haven't already.
But please send us submissions. jackandmel.inbloom at gmail.com. Or if you know us, just DM the Instagram account, DM our personal accounts, just anything you want to know, let us know. We are desperately looking for guests too. We'd love to hear your story. So is that all you have?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Excellent. Thank you very much. We will see you together next Monday.